Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today's Thursday, so I'll be baking apple pies. I have been craving apple pies since McDonald's shut, but I am going to bake mine at home with simple ingredients. So let's get to it. Let me show you the ingredients. So I've got 160 grams of butter, 3 teaspoons of granulated sugar, that's everyday sugar, 3 tablespoons of icing sugar, 3 tablespoons of light brown sugar, 300 grams of plain flour, 1 egg, 3 apples. I'm using Granny Smith apples because I couldn't get Bramley apples, and I've got some cinnamon that I will literally measure out later. So let's get baking. So what you want to do first is basically sift your flour into your bowl and basically work in your butter and your icing sugar and 3 tablespoons of water to form a dough. So let's get to it. I'm just quickly going to sift this up, guys. I'll be right back. Now that our flour is sifted, we can go to add the butter, icing sugar. What you want to do is you want to work the icing sugar in intervals. You don't want to add everything in at first. So I'm just going to start using my hands to basically work all this in. As you can see, our flour and butter is forming really well into a dough. So I'm just going to add more icing sugar in. Well, that's the whole thing. And basically keep working that in until it forms into our dough ball. I always use stork butter whenever I'm baking because stork butter gets your cakes and your pastries into a really soft mix, and it's so rich as well. So that's a good tip, guys. If you want to bake, always go for stork. So as you can see, our dough ball is coming on nicely. I've managed to put 1 tablespoon of water into a spoon. So I'm just going to pour that in. I'm just going to work that together. What you want to do is you want to use this kneading technique to basically push all the flour in your bowl along the sides together until that ball is ready. And by bowl, I mean dough ball. This is the second spoon of water. Just going to add that in. I'm not actually going to use a third tablespoon of water because if I do, it's just going to get too mushy and too hard to handle. But see, our ball is formed. So I'm just going to use both of my hands to basically get this out of the bowl and put it in the fridge to set for an hour. So this is our ball. Yay. So I'm just going to take that out of the bowl and basically wrap it up in cling film. Remember, guys, this will go into the fridge to set for an hour. So whilst our pastry is chilling for 1 hour, we can peel and cut our apples into mini chunks and basically stew them in this bowl. But these are my apples, guys. Nice, isn't it? Impressive. So the idea of cutting your apples is to stop them from browning. So, you know, just to keep them fresh in the water. So I'm just going to run some cold water from the tap and just pour that water in until it fills up the apples. There we go. So you just want to basically keep your apples in the bowl for 5 minutes before you basically cook them in the saucepan. This is one of my favorite tunes, guys. Sean Kingston, Fire Burning on the Dance Floor. Whoop, 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 whoop. So yeah, I've also got the cinnamon ready, which I will measure out soon. So it's 5 minutes after, so now we have to drain our apples in with our colander and basically cook it on our saucepan. So I have drained my apples. I'm just going to put them into the saucepan. what you want to do is you want to stew your apples on low heat. Now you want to add 3 tablespoons of cold water. This ticket cup takes me back to the days when I first started living alone. My friends bought me a ticket cup to remind me of home sweet home and just to have some stuff of mine. Now add your 3 tablespoons of light brown sugar. Get your wooden spoon and just stir that in. For measuring your cinnamon, you want to use your 1/4 teaspoon and just add that in as well. And stir all together. And put the lid back on and let it stew. Let's check out our apples, guys. Oh, look at that. Nice. Golden brown. So you just want to keep stirring your apples back and forth just to make sure they don't stick to the pan. And my kitchen smells of cinnamon, sugar, and love. The whole cooking time for your apples should be basically 5 minutes. So as you can see, our apples are coming on perfectly well. So what you want to do is you want all that sugar, cinnamon, and water to basically stew right into your apples until they become really soft. And you want to use your wooden spoon to just basically press them to check if they are ready. So our apples are coming along perfectly. Pastry is now out of the fridge, so I have used that time to basically cut out a triangular piece of greaseproof paper and another one so I can roll the pastry in between these 2 sheets. To roll the pastry out, it really helps for you to basically flour your rolling pin with flour, so that way you can easily move the pastry. And each time you roll, you want to turn the pastry on each side to basically keep rolling until you get a rectangular shape. So I managed to roll it out to what looks like a world map, I would say. But I'm really proud of myself. For those who like to burn out cardio, this is really great. I would literally recommend it. It helps your arms. My arms are aching, but I will literally carry on so I can make these pies. To the next step, uncover your first pastry sheet. And now we cut these into squares. I know I said square, right? But I've managed to cut it into a rectangle shape. So not bad. I will carry on. I'll be right back and I'll show you where I get to. Managed to make 3 so far. 3 rectangles. I've preheated my oven to gas mark 7. This is 220 Celsius and 200 Fahrenheit. I have 6 pastry backs. Yay. So I'm just going to use a fork to basically whisk my egg so I can coat these. It's always good to keep one step ahead, guys. What I want to do is basically get a pastry brush and basically coat the egg on the base like so. So you want to coat each one. I'm not left-handed at all. I'm actually right-handed. So this is difficult for me right now, but I'll survive. You want to use the 1 teaspoon measuring spoon to grab 2 servings of apple and then basically work it into your pastry, each pastry. As you can see, I have covered one of our 6 apple pie pockets with another pastry sheet. So I'm just going to do that for the other 6 and I'll be right back. You can see, guys, we now have 6 apple pie pockets. So what you want to do is basically brush your egg on top of each and basically leave it in the fridge to chill for 30 minutes before we can bake it for 18 minutes. I've done a really cool thing where I basically made 7 apple pie pockets, but with the other 2 pastry that was left, I've literally filled them with chocolate. So my Dr. Octaker white and dark chocolate. So I thought, well, the French know how to make croissant. Why can't I simply fill pastry up with chocolate and have it? So I'm going to put this in the fridge as well to chill for another 30 minutes. It has now been 30 minutes for us to now take our pastries out of the fridge because they have chilled. So remember, we're just going to basically bake this for 18 minutes. Before you bake this, you want to sprinkle some granulated sugar, as I call it, everyday sugar, on each of your apple pie pocket and place this in the oven for 18 minutes to bake. This is my favorite part, the sugar. I really hope you enjoyed baking these, guys, as much as I did. I couldn't wait to basically let it cool, so I ate one. But you can always let it cool for 5 minutes before you eat one anyway. And these go really, really well with custard, cream, a cup of coffee. If you love cappuccino, make one.